Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Super Robot Wars. It's time to leave. Now in 1080p. I'm Drunken Dan.
Man, the Oscars were really disappointed this year. I mean, I didn't watch them, but like they didn't bother to give a best. They didn't bother to nominate a movie with no special effects up for special effects this year. It's like, what's even the fucking point?
There wasn't it. People were just like, they didn't even care about the Oscars this year.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I forgot that the Oscars happened recently. Like, not even joking. I legitimately forgot.
I did actually see the figures for like this year. It was like something like 9 million people watched, which comparatively to like the 20 million people that watched the year before.
Yeah, that's pretty low.
There's almost Batwoman levels of, viewership reduction.
Jesus.
Maybe now we can finally realize that Oscars are dumb and destroy them.
No, I don't think we will.
Cast them into the fire where they belong.
I mean, I agree, but I don't think we will.
I mean, they're getting there. They were even like, I think they went to Anthony Hopkins, who wasn't even there.
Well, yeah, because he's fucking old-ass man.
Yeah, he said, like, hey, I don't want to be there. Let me zoom.
I'm an old-ass man. I'm in danger of getting the plague. How about no? And then they were like, no, Anthony Hopkins.
And he's like, okay, cool,
No.
I won't be there then. Fuck off.
Well, then you can give the award. You can give that award to the fattest part of my ass. He didn't say that, but I mean, I like to think that was what he meant in spirit.
He didn't say it, but you can feel it. So, also, one thing during our break that happened was they announced a Netflix Gundam movie.
Oh, no.
Is that the thing they were been working on for years, or is that something else?
No, I think it's something else.
It's something else.
Because the Gundam movie they were allegedly working on was, I think it was with Legendary.
Might have been.
Now Legendary is...
Oh, no, Legendary's working on it. It's just
Okay.
now Netflix.
Oh, so it's now gone to, yeah.
So they basically gave up on any kind of Hollywood debut.
Well, that or, Netflix paid them fuckloads of money for it.
And Netflix will pay fuckloads of money for something to be exclusive. I mean, they literally were like, wait, so no one's buying the rights to Ava because the old dub's expensive, right? Yeah? Well, we'll just make our own dub. Fuck you.
Blackjack and hookers.
Like, that's literally what happened with that. And it's... I can't say I care. It's just interesting, if you know what I mean.
With someone who has literally no nostalgia for the old Eva dub, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think... Is there anybody in here who even really likes Ava?
Not
Same
really.
with us.
I mean, I wouldn't say I like it. I follow
You went
it.
to a fucking premiere of which one was it? Was it 2.2?
Yeah, but I didn't go specifically for that. I was just at the convention, and fuck it, I might as well watch it since I'm here.
I thought you specifically went in to see the.
No, I just went to New York. I just went to New York Comic Con that year, and they were like, "Hey, they're gonna premiere the Eva, the third movie dub tonight," and I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'll go see it. Should be fun. I want to see some Eva fans in their native environment."
Honestly, that's fair.
And you know what? They were actually decent people. I mean, well, I don't know about decent people, but I mean, they were actually like having fun. Like, the people in the forums were like yelling at them because they're like, "How dare you try to have fun during an Evangelion movie? This is supposed to be serious." So it's also just that 3.3 is like so
Bad. Good.
it's not even bad. It's just there are some scenes you just have to laugh no matter how, like, nothing they could, no amount of dialogue they could ever put in there would make people not laugh at like some of the Kaoru and Shinji stuff, because it's just so homo that
Wait a minute,
it's
hold on.
funny.
Hold on, I just gotta rewind. This game, as far as I'm concerned, this game just name dropped our favorite hero, Secretary. The Wizards units have headed to facility number 1. The Wizard.
Oh no, the wizard everywhere.
Like oh no, not the Wizard. I showed you the piano scene from that movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is there any way to take that seriously? No, there is not.
No. I think the Western equivalent of the piano scene is that scene in Alien Covenant where Michael Fassbender says to Michael Fassbender, "You blow and I'll do the fingering."
That is basically yes.
Oh, fucking hell! I'm sorry, that got me. I don't know why.
Because it's literally Michael Fassbender talking to Michael Fassbender and saying, "You blow and I'll do the fingering," and it's like, oh yeah, I'm telling you this out of context, but like context doesn't make it better.
No, it's like immediately after the piano unicorn scene, there's like a scene where like Shinji goes back to his room and Kaoru is just like seductively posed on his bed, and there's no dialogue, but I mean you could just basically see Kaoru being like, "It's not going to suck itself, Shinji."
Get in my fucking pants, Shinji.
Basically, like there is no way not to laugh about that. It's not even like because they were all homophobic. It was just so blatant and out there. Like, whoa, where'd this come from?
Do you think sometimes Anno, like on a cold night with a beer in his hand, just goes, "Ava was a mistake"?
I don't think so, because it made him a lot of money.
But then he looks at the pile of money.
He looks at his bank account.
Maybe no.
He looks at his bank account. And he goes, "On second thought, it's
He's
okay.
like,
I'll still annoy them."
No, I think he actually. No, I think he just sits. Like he just lives. Like his house is just literally made of money at this point.
He's like, if it wasn't for Ava, I couldn't have made that Godzilla film. So you know what? I think I'm okay with that.
You know.
And now he's doing Shin Kamen Rider. And I just hope, just to piss off Saber, it has the loudest, most obnoxiously talking bell ever.
Oh god.
So, oh fuck, what was it? Though, you know what, I do appreciate Anno for, like, looking at what fans react to things and being like, how can I annoy them?
Stop liking this! Why won't you stop liking this?
Like, with the fucking thing, it's like, alright, I'll make Shinji gay, we like this. Oh, you do? At the end, he's with this person now, fuck you.
That was the ultimate troll. It's like, who won? The new girl that none of the new girl that like none of the angry fan bases really had any kind of were pulling for.
Yeah, they're either like, oh, she's just fine, or they just don't care for her, pretty much.
Even then, they liked her as a character, but there was nobody who was actually shipping her with Shinji. They were just like, she's a great character as, like, you know, someone who doesn't care about the doom and gloom of the world. But they were like, wait, no, she's not supposed to go with Shinji. It's supposed to be Rei or Asuka. My choices have been ruined.
Or Kaoru.
Or Kaoru, yes, or Kaoru, that's true.
Well, Shinji was Shinji's hands.
Like, I like to imagine, like, he was like honest, like, yeah, I'll go this route, and then he sees people's reactions, he's like, oh, you like that, okay,
Problem was, he even did do Shinji with Shinji's hand, and people like that, too.
Exactly. He's like, finally, I did it! I got one that slightly annoyed them!
But we'll see. I'm sure it will now create a whole new slew of Mari and Shinji shippers. He will never defeat the Eva fan base.
I mean, it depends.
Because anytime he does anything, they then go, well, Arno's just a genius. We didn't see it coming. He's like, fuck's sake.
It depends.
Just die already.
It depends whatever the follow-up people do.
I mean, I haven't really heard people really react to Mari getting it. Like, I was just... like, honestly, like, I was just like, when you told me, like, oh, and then, like, I never saw anybody really have any kind of reaction to it. It just happened, and then that was it.
A lot of it is also because Eva, the fourth Eva movie hasn't had, like, a full Western release yet, I don't think. It's just only been in theaters in Japan.
It's only in theaters in Japan, so people only have, like, a couple minutes of camera clips.
So only massive weebs like us know.
Yeah.
Well, more importantly, people who have the sense to just get a movie spoiled for them by going, "Hey, guy who saw it in Japan, tell us all about it."
That's what I just didn't care. I was just like, "How did this end? Tell me."
Like honestly, I can't even not call myself a massive weeb because I mean, look at the fuck I'm playing. I literally follow one of the translators on Twitter and sometimes talk to them.
Nice. Oh yeah. Actually, I guess someone speaking of that little massive weebery, there was the what's his face died? I can't remember his name now. The composer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
The
Dragon Ball
Dragon-
composer.
ah, here.
Yeah,
Here it is. Shunsuke Kikuchi.
yeah, he passed away the other day, unfortunately.
So did Michael Collins.
So did there
Yeah.
was a couple that passed away recently.
I mean, one that we still
I mean,
kind of mentioned.
a ton of people died last year, so you know.
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting the sort of most prominent one to be mentioned by one of you at this point.
You do it.
I mean, I don't really. Well, it's complicated.
Do it.
Prince Philip died, and it's like, yeah.
Oh yeah, he did die. I forgot.
I forgot.
I was like, I
He was
didn't know
like
Prince Philip was still
he was
alive.
99. So, yeah, he was 99.
I legitimately forgot that he died. Like honestly.
I mean, I forgot his existence, so you know.
Yeah. I think I remember when he died. I was like, oh, there's a Prince Philip, and then I forgot.
I was like, there's the Queen,
The Queen.
and Charles and Diana and their kids, and that's basic. And I only know about the ladders because of the whole, big to do in the late '90s.
Yeah.
I legit never heard of Princess Diana until she died. I mean, admittedly, I was
That's-
10 years old, but still.
Just because the most notable thing Diana ever did was she pumped out a couple babies and then died. I fucking hate. Well, I don't hate her. I'm just sick to death of her.
Yeah.
To the point where maybe I wish she hadn't. I'm glad she died. I'm glad she did die, because if she hadn't have died, it would only been more insufferable about her.
So
But yeah, Philip died. It's like, I mean, I'm not sad because I didn't know the man. I'm just actually the saddest thing is looking at him and being like, that is a 95-year-old woman who's just lost her husband of 73 years. That's actually sad.
yeah.
That is sad to watch. And at
I
the
mean,
end of the day,
I mean,
she's
apparently the Queen is like, or was a chill person from what I've heard.
Yeah.
I don't actually.
never heard anyone say, well, aside from the fact it might be treason, but I've never heard anyone
I mean,
actually say
I've never heard it. Everyone's like, it was like back in
It
World
might
War
be
II.
treason. It's like I never heard a word. You just hear like into the background of a train, like the sound of a shotgun cocking.
Yeah, I'm like,
I've never heard anyone say anything bad against the Queen, but also because who really was. But it's the kind of thing, and I've always found the whole Harry and Meghan Markle thing kind of ridiculous. Because at the end of the day, like, if you're trying to pick a fight about shit like this, you're up against the Queen of England, who, at the best, you know, at the end of the day, she's a fucking old lady, like a tiny old lady with corgis. Like, who do you think the public are gonna back?
pretty much.
I mean,
it's-
I won't lie. Like, I'm not really surprised if true, because I mean, how old is she, for Christ's sake?
I mean, I've just heard, she's nice to the staff, and she's got the dogs. And back in World War II, she was like going into the factories and stuff.
Right. No, I remember
all
she was
the
like
women.
she was like a mechanic back in World War II.
Yeah.
wasn't she?
So yeah,
Yeah.
she'd go into the factories with all of the workers and would just work with them for a while just to show support. So I mean, like I've never heard anything bad about her.
I'm just gonna say, like, I mean, people are people, and also with time periods, I wouldn't be surprised. But like, so like, it's to me, I don't care when it's some old person as much as I do like if it's someone like around our age, because like it's like we should know better. Like that's a given.
I don't know, man. If saying like that boxing match, like whichever Paul it was, got his head knocked off, I wouldn't have been sad.
Oh, I would have loved to watch him get his head kicked in.
Well, no. I wouldn't have liked to see his head get kicked in. I would have liked to see his head get punched off, because I don't think you should break the rules just to kill someone. Like, rules are there for a reason.
We have rules. We're not barbarians. Now kill him.
Exactly. It's like, if we're going to have blood sports, then by Jove, we need to follow the rules of engagement. Otherwise, what is the point? Why don't we all just murder each other like they do in the colonies?
Listen, we can't drop a colony right now.
I was actually talking about you guys, so...
Yeah, these are the colonies.
No, I know.
Yeah. I don't know, because sometimes I feel like you have to explain things to those colonials.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
fine.
yeah. The sun never sets on the English Empire. We're still the Empire. Yeah,
What empire?
yeah.
Oh no, man. I feel like you guys have actually just blatantly stolen more countries recently than we have.
We
I
have.
know exactly.
Hey, we're going for the high score, motherfucker.
Like what empire?
Yeah, we're
You'll
going
never
for the high score,
You'll
bitch.
never beat. Hey, you'll never beat the high. You'll never beat our high score.
Just wait and see.
All you can hope to do is just fucking steal Hawaii, and then and everyone's like, wait, what? When did Hawaii become under the U.S. rule? Oh well, Congress voted on it. Well, we didn't vote on it. Yeah, but you don't count. We live here. Yeah, but Congress voted on it.
Yeah, but we decided that you're annexed.
Alright, you belong to us now. What if we don't want to be part of you? Well, I mean, that doesn't count. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter what you think because Congress voted on it.
Yeah, it's like, why would you not want to be part of us?
Right? Like, come on, we're
we're
perfect.
I mean, Hawaii doesn't care as much because they're so far away from the mainland that it's like, what are they gonna do?
Also, because there was a lot of people who did complain got arrested.
Yeah,
So
they're like everyone is an ocean away. What do you care?
well, I like that Alaska had to be given to you apparently by the Russians.
Yes.
Even the Russians didn't want Alaska.
I mean, have you seen it? Have you seen it up there?
I mean, Sarah Palin's there. You want to go there?
There's bears. Bears are cool. I like bears. Everyone likes bears.
That's true. Bears are cool.
They're like the sharks of the land. Surprisingly cuddly, but also they can kill. They can kill you if they want to.
Cannon will kill you.
But they don't want to kill you. But sometimes they do. But they can. You know what it is? Bears and sharks are kind of like that guy where they would never do anything to you, but they want you to know that they could.
They're like every now and then they just like to walk by, like break something just to remind you of your place.
Basically.
Yeah. I mean, I never would.
There was some wilderness photographer where a bear just like walked up to him filming, and the guy just like stood stock still because he was scared because it was a bear, and the bear just like looked straight into the camera and then he left.
He's like, you know,
Like,
I could end you right now.
Basically, he just walked by. He's like, I could kill you right now. Just letting you know. All right, bye.
Your life is in my paws.
So I actually think that is actually a lot more of a common trait than you think about bears. In that, I'm not going to say obviously not dangerous, no, incredibly dangerous, but like they're actually only overtly aggressive in like in 3 instances, which is if they've got young, if they're wounded, or if they're starving, hungry, and then they're like, I will fucking kill you. And then otherwise, if you just kind of don't start or make it seem like you're a threat to the bear, they won't be like, the chances of them acting aggressively on you are sort of minimal.
A bear sat on my uncle once.
Ooh.
Was it a sex thing or just?
No, it was he was camping, and a bear just pulled the thing out of. He pulled the food thing out of the tree, and he just sat down on the tent right on my uncle and started eating their food.
I'm curious, what kind of bear was it?
He didn't see because there was a tent was on top of him.
Well, I mean, you can kind of get an idea of what kind of bear it could have been because of the area. Like, was it a grizzly?
I'm pretty sure it was. Bears are native to the mountains of California.
I think that's grizzly.
Brown bear?
Okay, but that might have been a grizzly. Yeah.
Because black bears are native around where we live, actually.
Yeah, I've seen a couple.
It's very rare I'll see them where I live, but I know that they are around, like they are in Jersey and like.
Oh yeah, they're up here. All of that people.
But like black bears are like the most docile ones.
People call animal control and they're like, yeah, there's a bear in my yard. Can you please make it leave so it doesn't kill my kids?
I think the only ones that are like actually like, yeah, no, don't approach under any circumstance, or well, don't approach under circumstances, but like no, you're probably fucked. And just avoid at all costs is polar bears.
Oh yeah, polar bears are terrifying. Like, no joke.
Good thing they live in the Arctic and we don't.
But yeah, bear sat on him and he just sat. He had to just lay there and he laid there completely motionless while the bear sat on him for like a half hour eating all their food.
This is what I do.
Was
I
this
sit on
Yogi?
you.
Was
Sit
this
on you.
Yogi? Did your-
Could have been.
did your-
Wait a minute, hold on. Was this Yellowstone?
Oh no, it wasn't Yellowstone. It was up in California.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
You're sure about that?
Yeah, and my aunt was there, and she's like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "There's a bear on me."
I mean, did he when it happened? Did he hear like a really bit crunched voiceover of someone screaming, "Here comes Yogi"?
I don't know. Maybe that's why he woke up. But in the end, the bear ate their food and left, and he wasn't seriously hurt by the bear sitting on him, nor did the bear murder him. So
Well, bad news, guys. We no longer have the protagonist because she's shot down for now.
Oh no! I thought you were gonna say bad news. My uncle survived. I'd be like, hey. I mean, I don't interact with the man much, but I don't wish him dead.
I would never do something like that unless, like, you told me specifically that they're a piece of shit when I say something like that.
No, he's a pretty chill guy.
Yeah, like, I would not say that about someone's family. Like, listen, I have standards. I have standards.
Yeah, he could be listening to this right now. He's probably not. But, if he is, he's a pretty chill guy.
Oh, he's listening. Okay, let's talk about our favorite wife.
He hasn't seen me since I was like 10 years old, so
let's be fucking honest. Let's be fucking honest here. If that story was more widespread, someone would have turned that bear into a waifu by now.
Probably.
Ooh.
It would just be a picture of some dude in a tent being sat on by some big person, tall anime girl. Just say, I hope Bear-chan sits on me.
And it's just like they put like the little like blush marks on part of the tent.
Just saying. I mean, now that we've said this, it probably will start to exist.
Now that I've said it, I kind of want to get this done now and like just send him a picture of it.
We have awakened something in someone.
He'd be like, "What the hell is this?" Because I'm pretty sure he has absolutely no concept of like anime culture in general.
Probably for the best.
So he'd be like, "What the hell is this?"
Sometimes I wish I didn't.
This is Bear-chan. She is your wife now.
Ooh. Oh wait, now. I jumped the gun a little bit. She's gonna get shot down in a second, so we are going to lose this robot for this fight, unfortunately. Which is a shame because it's like one of the best robots I have right now. But the plus side is next time we play this, I'll have a much better robot.
It's wearing a tie.
Yes.
Robots wear ties.
Yes.
Or don't wear ties, whichever is meant to be.
I mean, monkeys wear ties.
I still like the idea though that at least like one person from Japan like looked at the first episode just to make sure that I picked Shigiri and then just left. Shigiri.
Could be.
Just like checks like, I hope this fucking Westerner picks the okay, good, and then leaves.
Hard to tell with Japan. They do lots of weird things.
They do.
Get enamored with lots of characters you think they probably wouldn't get enamored with, or characters.
They like Jiren for God's sakes.
I would have gone with Jiren.
Like they actually like Jiren. I still don't understand how.
But why?
Right? Like how do you look at Jiren and be like, yeah, that?
But his parents are dead.
But that. You don't understand. My parents are dead. Goku.
That makes me stronger than God.
This makes total sense. This isn't stupid in the slightest. You're stupid.
And I actually forgot about Jiren. You reminded me of Jiren. Why? Why did you do this?
Yeah, I'd finally purged that from my mind. And by the way, Jiren's the thing. No.
Well, I'm cursed to remember him, so all must be cursed to remember him. If I must suffer, everyone must!
Man.
Yeah, at least we got Super Broly. At least we got that.
Yeah, but then he became more... Oh, I guess I could talk about that. So I've been kind of working my way back through Full Metal Panic, mostly because I finally got...
Oh, I know where this is going!
And, Well, it's a bit awkward walking through it, and it's like you go to Kurt's, the lovable sex pervert, and it's all sort of well and good, but then every time he says something skeevy, you're like, oh, that's a bit too real now.
For the audience, the voice actor for Kurtz is Vic Mikanurganov.
It's like, it's almost as bad as the other day when I was on like the YouTube homepage and it showed me that Nairo was streaming, and I was like, isn't he like the main one that got fucking called out in the Smash thing? Why is he still streaming with 10,000 people watching?
Because
how has he not been unpersoned?
Because it doesn't actually work when somebody has a big following and keeps making stuff. That's the thing.
Wasn't he explicitly the one involved in the underage allegations?
Yes, I know exactly. Yeah, no, he was. That doesn't matter if they have a following. It really doesn't. None of the cancel culture is not real. I keep telling people this, and I keep screaming it, but because I am Cassandra, no one listens to me. I mean, there are still people that have like weird conspiracy theories about the Vic thing still, and I'm like, what? Like friends of mine even, and I'm just like,
But yeah, aside from obviously, I mean, if not for the fact that I really love all the other dub actors in Full Metal Panic, I would just watch the sub. But like, yeah, aside from the one,
it's that thing where like
sort of black sheep.
Yeah, it's that thing where you kind of got like hell. Broly is easier to watch because Broly doesn't talk too much. But God, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'd be okay if they just redub Broly and just put out another DVD. I'd fucking buy it.
Well, it's like the problem. A lot of the problem is not even just like the case of it's awkward because of that, because of what came out, but it's more the fact of the context of
and
what
he's a sex pervert
says as well.
Yeah, because he's a sex pervert, and the voice
which
actor's a sex pervert.
Fine. It's fine when it's like one or the other. When it's like Vic Mignogna doing like
and
Full Metal Alchemist, and you're like, I mean, yeah, it's still awkward, but
it's like Edward Elric.
It's
like Edward Elric, who isn't like a sex pervert.
But when you're like, got a character who's like, oh yeah, his 16-year-old panties, and you're like,
No, I get that, because that's the thing with me, and I've talked about, like, because I am not someone who says, like, oh, you can't separate, X and Y. I mean, like, you can. The reason why I can't with Kenshin is because there's the pedophile thing, and then when you go into the actual thing and you see the character age differences between the men and the women that get together, other than Sanosuke and that doctor lady, you get like a 16-year-old and a 30-year-old, and it's just like, I wouldn't.
That's why Kenshin's like 35. You forget that because
He looks like a.
And the same thing happened with Masao, who's even younger, with the Obi-Wan guy, who's also a good bit older too. Like, it wouldn't matter if they were like at least 18, because it's like whatever, they're legal. Fuck it, I guess it's weird, but whatever.
I mean, to be fair, they're legal. To be fair, like
I guess it was like the only way the story would work.
Like, I'm pretty sure. I think the age of consent in Japan is 16. It might
is.
be lower. So they're legal in Japan, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And there's still like huge age gaps between them.
Yeah, and it's kind of, it feels weird too when what he did.
I mean, past a certain age.
Like when I first watched it, like I was like, I didn't really think much of it because I was like, oh, this is like feudal fucking Japan, whatever. But then when he's got CP in his fucking computer, it's a bit of a thing where I'm like,
Well, so yes, I'm not. Yeah, as I said, most of the time I can,
separate
things. But it's just when it's like that.
Yeah, honestly, Broly's like an easy one to separate, like a Super Broly from him. I mean, there's A, the fact that there's not too many lines from the character, but B, the character is not a sex pervert.
That we know of.
Currently.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised if Toriyama pulls that one out of his ass.
I think it's just the Roshi sex pervert now.
Well, you never know with Toriyama.
Crazy Toriyama.
He will just do whatever the fuck he wants
It's
because
true.
he's too old and too rich to give a shit.
I won't lie.
I
For some,
don't know if he's rich.
my dumb brain, when you said that he'll just do whatever the fuck he wants, I just imagine that fucking like last part of the Viva La Bam intro, except for Toriyama's head on Bam as he steps off the fucking building.
I mean,
Whatever the fuck I want.
I mean, being not gonna lie, Toriyama's head might look better than current Bam's head.
Oof, you're right. I don't want to make too much fun because I feel bad for that guy because he just kind of went to shit after his friend died.
Well, yeah.
And like that's why I don't really like. It's like I don't get any pleasure making fun of this. This is sad. Like I just feel bad. I don't want to make fun of him.
There's making fun of people. There's like taking people down a peg, and then there's kicking someone who's already down.
He's down. I don't want to kick him. No.
Yeah.
I honestly feel bad. That's why I'm like I groaned and I was like, you're right. It's kind of like slightly like, heh, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't like this.
I was just more. I was just more joking. I wasn't even joking about like him being like obviously the kind of issues he's going with. I just more meant the fact that he's the kind of person who aged like 0 to 100.
Yeah, a lot of that though is because of
bad.
Honestly, a lot of it is because of the depression though.
Who are we talking about?
Bam Margera.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Jackass, skater guy.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Oh yes, the Jackass guy. I didn't know his name. I just know him as Jackass guy.
He's the Jackass. Yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, I feel like Jackass guy. You'd think of like Steve-O more. If I
mean, they were all Jackass guy, but I mean, like I know his face, but I'm like I don't know his name.
Fair enough.
I mean, hey, to be fair, Johnny Knox will also think of, oh, hey, he's that guy from Men in Black 2.
I forgot he was in Men in Black 2.
I forgot he was in that movie.
You forgot there was a Men in Black 2, which is correct. Men in Black 2 is a bad movie.
I remember vaguely watching it as a kid in high school or middle school. I don't remember which one. And I remember just nothing else other than that I saw it.
All I know about that movie is it pretty much single-handedly created the Vor community.
I was debating mentioning that, and I was like, no, let's not go there. But no, you just went there, alright. So, okay, then.
I went there.
Man, today Train isn't even the one doing the controversial ones. Like, what the hell?
You know what I feel? I feel like that sort of clip of Randy Marsh where he's like, oh, okay, so we're doing this, and then just take the shit off. It's like, come on.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like, what the hell?
I was like, I don't really want to get into that because it's not something that it's not the kind of discussion. It's not that kind of. It's the kind of thing where it's like, I don't want to get into that kind of discussion because at the end of the day, it's like, I don't get it, but I don't get a lot of fetish shit. But hey, if you want to factor that,
I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's terrible. You people should be ashamed of you. I'm just saying that's Men in Black 2. That's really what it's known for.
I don't know why my brain just went to that fucking clip from The Critic where he just goes, wait, that's terrible. I quit, and he just walks out.
The Orson
Welles bit, yeah. I've used it a couple of times.
Rosebud frozen peas, full of country goodness and green penis.
Wait,
that's terrible. I quit.
Just a handful for the road.
A handful for the road.
The Critic was really fucking good.
Oh, what luck. There's a French fry stuck in my beard. Oh, yeah.
I love The Critic. It was so fucking good. It was a really good show. It's a shame.
I also like the one with the whole wine thing. It's like, recently priced at $1 a jug. Now for a little magic, I'll make this wine disappear. Because that was based in reality off that one commercial where he just got hammered.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, they were all like based off of things that he did. They were all like jokes that were based on things that were.
Oh yeah. He also freaked out about the pee thing to the one guy.
Yeah.
I just remember because you watched the finished commercial, and it's like completely ADR'd, and like they almost like you could tell the whole thing was just them like cutting together as many shots of him where he didn't look completely plastered as possible, and then he just ADR'd his speech in later.
He was dying at that point, wasn't he?
No, this was like 5 years before he died, so he's still.
Yeah.
This
still
wasn't
had a-
this wasn't when they trucked him in to voice Unicron.
Yeah, no, it's not like Unicron where he was in a wheelchair.
Yes. But yeah, The Critic was a good show. It's a shame.
It's still the best rendition of Unicron in any Transformers thing ever.
I mean,
Yeah.
what is it? What does it have to compete with?
Armada?
Armada. That's about it.
John? Prime.
Was he in Prime? Oh yeah, he wasn't. He was in Prime, but like not really.
He was the yes, because they decided to make the Earth Unicron.
He was
And
the
then
Earth
like,
Unicron,
so that means we
which
can never-
meant. So I guess Unicron can never activate since that will kill everyone.
So you can never have planet-sized Unicron, and then you're like, so if you can't have Unicron be a giant planet transform, what's the fucking point? And then you're like, oh right, yeah, that's why this show kind of sucks.
Just think, it got more seasons than a lot of the good ones.
I mean, it got 3. That's about as much as animated got.
That's 3 more than it needed.
Yeah, but
I
that's
was
what happens
I was
when you-
rewatching a couple episodes. I was like, it's not even bad as much as they just failed to make use of like anything good it was creating, and then like
Write good characters, write a good story, write
Well, that's the
fun
kind of
action.
But that's ultimately the problem with Prime, right? It's so busy trying to be like 4 different things that's not anything. Like, okay, it's trying to be the kind of like on the one hand, it's trying to be like kind of classic G1, Transformers traveling across the globe, stopping Decepticon schemes, robots in disguise and all that. But then it doesn't really kind of go in on that, and then it's trying to be fucking Bayformers with its designs and its sort of general aesthetic and by Orsi.
I'm pretty sure it was mandated for it to be based on Bayformers.
Probably,
Oh,
given the time period it came out.
I'm aware it was mandated, but that's also part of the problem.
All I
And then,
remember
they just
is
keep doing-
so many plot points that, like, I remember they set up that whole evil organization with the guy.
Hello? Uh-oh. Back. Internet. Oh, I just
I was just-
actually turned off the...
I was just about to come down to South Jersey to check on you.
Yeah, I'm just kind of... Yeah, I'm a little annoyed at the internet right now.
I too am annoyed at
Train didn't realize how big New Jersey was.
Yeah, Jersey's a big state.
Why? What the fuck do you have that's worth having all that space for?
Cranberries.
I mean, it's like Texas, right? They say everything's bigger in Texas. Well, what are you doing with all that?
I mean,
bigness?
Texas is a frick huge state. It's not.
All Texas is known. You know what Texas is known for these days? Producing anime.
Also a snowstorm.
Am I wrong though?
And a terrible senator.
It does feel like Texas's main export now is just anime, as both Funimation and Rooster Teeth are based there.
Hey,
I mean,
hey, they gave us Ghost and Radio Graffiti. Kens.wave.
I mean, Texas is bigger than some countries. So
Yeah, but I'm just saying, when the only thing your state is good for is anime, what's the fucking point of having all of that desert? You can't have waifus in a desert. That's ridiculous.
I mean, give it a few years and it might become the tech capital of the nation. Because everybody's moving from California to Texas.
Or
Yeah.
there's a lot of people moving to Las Vegas, I've noticed too.
All of Silicon Valley is like leaving Silicon Valley.
A lot of them are moving to Vegas and Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you also have to remember a lot of the tech companies are also being bought out by China, so...
This is true.
They really want to go to Vegas and gamble.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is it Macau? The Chinese equivalent of Vegas?
I don't
Where
know.
the stupid rich people gamble. And by that I mean the people who can afford to just waste an entire fortune, on a game that they know they can't win, because fuck it, we're all just playing a game.
game of our lives.
Oh, here come my neighbor's landscapers.
Ah, just in time.
Just in time.
Man, this recording is cursed.
It really is. I take like 3 weeks off, and then it's just like, no, we want you to take another one. I'm like, no, I'm like 50 minutes in, and the map's almost over. Fuck you. Because this is actually a short map. All I gotta do is just kill a bunch of these robots.
It is an unfortunate week to come back, because just not a lot has really happened this week that's worth noting. I mean, the best I can give you is British Prime Minister Boris Johnson was reportedly found saying, and I quote, "I would rather the bodies pile high in the thousands than have another lockdown."
That sounds like
which
him.
is kind of an oof. It's a pretty big oof. And it's become my favourite go-to thing to say now, of I would rather bodies pile high in the thousands than have to get more milk today.
I'm not getting milk, I'll kill you to make it not happen! If you think I'll get some milk,
and also
go fuck yourself.
and I guess also maybe there's a possible controversy / investigation into accusations of, mismanaging funds, but that's not really exciting. I mean, yeah, actually illegal and stuff, but it's also based off of furnishing an apartment. So basically, the apartment in number 10 Downing Street was refurbished, and no one's actually, and being very coy as to saying as to who actually initially signed off on said invoice for that, because obviously. If someone who wasn't the Prime Minister, who claims that he paid for it, did indeed sign off on that invoice, it would be slightly illegal, and by slightly I mean quite a lot illegal. So we'll see how that goes. Kind of hoping it goes somewhere fun.
To hell.
Well, it's the kind of thing where I've bitched before about Boris Johnson, and do you know what it is that I dislike about him the most? He does things with there's no elegance to what he does, and he still gets away with it. Like,
that's because they learn they don't need to be elegant about being a fuckhead. That's the thing.
But it's like every position he's ever been in, it's been a colossal failure. And it's like, it'd be one thing if he was just a cunt, but he was a successful cunt. But he's not even a successful cunt, but he's kind of bumblefucked his way into this position. And I don't understand why, because anyone with a brain must have looked at it and gone, man, I can see exactly what's going through your mind, because it's so easy to read you. I mean, and yet everyone would let them be tricked by him.
I mean, we literally had the same thing with Donald Trump, so...
Yeah, but the difference is that half of America is also just is psychotic enough that they would just vote for him.
You're pretending like England's not.
Well, that's the thing, is that usually the crazy people here don't get to vote because, we have strict rules on who can and can't vote.
I think you completely underestimated the insanity of your own country.
Although it did actually bring me to an interesting.
I mean, I literally.
I was thinking about the Brexit.
Actually, hold on, because I got into it with a certain Goombook because they were trying to say that Mega Man Battle Network was obscure.
Who said that?
A very certain Goomba, who I feel bad that I used to joke saying was you.
I mean, I never said that it was
a lonely Goomba.
Oh.
I know you never said that. And then I figured it out after we started talking about sales prices, because I was like, but Battle Network 2 is literally the second highest selling Mega Man title in the series. That's including, Classic, X, all that. And then it took a little bit until they pulled up the sales figures to argue it, and they're like, look, it only did well in Japan. And I was like, wait, it did well in America. And then I looked over and saw the UK sales numbers, like, oh, you think the UK is the entire world? Okay.
I mean, here's a simple answer to that question. Battle Network got an anime adaptation that lasted.
I did.
4 seasons.
I mentioned the adaptation, the toy line, all that. No, that's obscure.
It's not obscure.
It's not.
It's in the public eye. And also, I know for a fact the Battle Network anime came out over here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but only 2 seasons.
But anyway, it did actually lead me to a rather interesting conclusion, because I was thinking on the Brexit referendum, as I often do. And the sort of argument that people make is, oh, the result reflected, the will of the people. And I kind of realised it actually doesn't, because what the problem actually comes in that you say it's reflecting of the people. It's not, because it's not actually because the population obviously had a number of people who would have had a very vested interest in the result of said vote, who weren't allowed to vote because only 16, because it's the minimum voting age is 16. And it's like, well, the problem is that for the people who were 15 and younger, who are numbering quite the high amounts, weren't allowed to vote. So therefore, it was always a skewed idea of saying, well, this is what the people want. No, it's what a proportion of the people want that we allowed to have a voice. And I think if you'd have lowered the age
off
to 40
topic
or 50,
for this is off topic just for the people watching the recording. So I kind of fucked up on the SR stuff because I didn't kill things quick enough early on. So I am going to be on my own, just playing the stage again outside of recording. It happened again.
You have failed.
Yes.
You have failed this city. Now I must go because the train has gone, but the green train, who's a completely different guy, is here now.
Yes.
Not the same guy, so I promise.
You can tell because he's green.
Yes, because I changed my name. I mean, because I have a different name from that guy who I said I was, who you might know, who is a vicious murderer. But I'm not him, so it's okay.
I'm wearing green now.
He died on the way back. He died on the way back to his home planet. Wait, the Arrow was an alien?
When are they gonna get to the fireworks factory? I've been watching more and more just clips of The Simpsons. I need to, just at some point, just fucking watch old Simpsons again.
Probably.
Because I just keep looking at old clips of old Simpsons clips and laughing, and I'm like, man, I really should just fucking start watch season 2 and then go until 6. Because I remember season 1 was kind of rough.
Yeah, but that's also because they didn't have any budget and nobody thought it was going to do anything.
I meant the writing, not the animation. I wouldn't be fair to compare animation when it has no fucking money.
And yet that arcade game was based off of season 1 for the most part.
Yeah.
It had blacksmithers.
It had blacksmithers, it had Barney's original design. It had Marge having bunny ears under her hair.
A blue shirt Bart.
Yeah. Crazy,
To be
right?
fair, I think Blue Shirt Bart was in a lot of merch stuff as well.
Yeah. Well, they produced a lot of merch when the show was still in early production.
They were like, Bart's clearly going to be the most popular character.
Which he was.
He was.
For a while.
Well, until the writers moved more over to Homer being the more of the focus. It's kind of why it becomes funnier when you play the Simpsons games where you can control all the members of the family, and when you get to the Lisa and Marge sections and they barely have anything because they barely have episodes.
Yeah. They said Bart being a modern day Dennis the Menace got old real quick, so they decided to focus more on Homer.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what he was, because it was the idea. Mind you, obviously they only knew about American Dennis, but it was the idea.
I was gonna say, how is he actually anything like How is he anything like your? He's so much like our Dennis the Menace, yeah.
Yeah,
so nothing like your Dennis.
So when they made so now they didn't know about the European Dennis. When they made Bart, they were like, I wanted a kid who's actually a little shit, because Dennis the Menace, American Dennis the Menace, isn't really a bad kid. He just he tries to help and fucks up.
He's just an annoying kid, which 90% of kids are just annoying kids.
Right, but even like that, it's usually he's trying to do something good and just fucks up. It's usually what it is.
He's not our Dennis the Menace who built a robot for himself and his pet dog to terrorize people with.
Right. There's a difference.
Man, I fucking dread to think what our Dennis the Menace has been turned into these days. Thanks to anti-bullying stuff.
I only remember that old cartoon.
Yeah.
From way back in the day.
I never saw any. I'll be honest with you. I never saw like any of the like the English Dennis the Menace. I know of him.
I just know he'd like annoy his neighbor, and that was about it.
Oh, in the cartoon, yeah. Basically, he would annoy his neighbor on accident without realizing he's annoying his neighbor. It was like that kind of thing. Like that's why like Dennis the Menace, like when you think about it, it's really funny because it's just like he's not even really doing anything bad. He's just a dumb kid.
He's not the actual psychopath in training artist.
Yes.
Man, it was just like the thing because a weekly comic over here. I remember going to get it at the local news agents as they're called, and just reading about Dennis and all of his equally psychotic like towns members. Because there's not only Dennis the Menace, there's Minnie the Minx, Ivy the Terrible.
Yeah, because basically, from what little I know, they're all, like everybody in that is fucking crazy.
Yes, the Bash Street Kids, which is basically a school of assholes. It's basically you are either a borderline psychopath, or you are like sort of a random character. Like there's a guy called Calamity James whose entire shtick was he was just fantastically unlucky. And I remember one of them was he was on a cruise and got shat on by an albatross.
All right, this is where we're gonna stop though, because the cutscene just ended. I'll crop out the stuff like I said. And next time we'll be back with more Time to Leave and I'll replay the stage to get the actual point.
It is actually for our little meta thing of It's Time to Leave. I think being shat on by an albatross is a perfect time to leave.
It is. So it's time to leave. Bye.